YouTube announced a new feature. It's called their Hype feature, which is a way to allow people to more directly influence the algorithm. So from their blog post or from their statement, it's if a video has been out less than 7 days from a creator with under 500,000 subscribers, you can hype it, which means going beyond liking and sharing. The more hype it gets, the higher it climbs on a new leaderboard with the top 100 hype videos from the week. Anybody can hype up to 3 times per week. In the future, we plan to allow fans to purchase additional hypes, unlocking another revenue stream for creators too. So I think it's interesting. I mean,
Yeah.
I really like the idea of helping smaller creators grow,
Mhm.
allowing them to enlarge the pie, so to
Yeah.
speak. But we'll see. I mean,
Yeah, one of the problems I'm seeing is that I read the announcement as well, and they're going from accounts as low as 500 followers to 500,000, and that's a huge discrepancy between like the audience that will be able to participate. Obviously, I mean the algorithm kind of helps you grow, and like we've seen that with our YouTube channel. But yeah, I mean, if you're closer to like 500,000, it's a little bit easier to get your audience to start hyping you. So it just kind of puts you at an advantage, right? Versus like the ones that are 500. So I wonder if maybe that'll be a thing that they test in the future, whether it's like the hop from 500 to like 5,000, or kind of break down the brackets a little bit more in order to make it a little bit more it's not fair. I mean, because obviously this is a new thing, but I don't know, make it a little easier for the smaller accounts to continue growing.
mhm. Yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, I think where I'm a little bit wary is that users will be able to purchase additional hypes.
Yeah.
So it's pay to play ultimately. And it's because obviously it sounds like creators will get a piece of that money
Hmm.
because they said it allows for another revenue stream for creators as well. I'm going to assume it's going to be a small amount of money.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like, we'll see in that it's ultimately going to be pay to play. We will see who the early adopters of this are and
Hmm.
how people are leveraging it. I mean, the obvious way to exploit it would be to just spend all that money, right? To
Hmm.
just have a bunch of accounts that you buy additional hype for, or, I could imagine someone having like, 300,000 YouTube subscribers, but also having some kind of Patreon where they let me tell people like, "Hey, I'll reimburse you for your if you buy additional hype," who knows?
Yeah. Keep
So
coming up with these ideas. Maybe we use some of them, Amanda, for our account.
I don't know how much the hype costs. I don't know if I can
Yeah,
afford it.
right. Yeah, I do wonder, like right now, where it's not, pay to play, how it'll work in order to kind of hopefully it does actually help, creators a little bit more. And then hopefully that kind of helps them set up what will eventually be the process. Because yeah, anytime that some, new way of like doing this kind of comes up, it's like, okay, you got to start thinking about the downsides, because it's like there's so many ways to kind of take advantage of the system. I mean, it used to be you just pay for followers, but then now people are paying for engagement, replies and likes and all that, because like that's what the algorithm now rewards. So how is this going to get, gamified in some way in the
Right,
future?
right. That too, and I also wonder what other platforms are already eyeing this and considering copying it.
Yeah.
Because I
I
could see
mean, so this
Spotify
is
doing a version.
right. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, I mean, on the flip side, though, I mean, obviously, all of these platforms need ways to kind of bring in more money. So if in the process they're helping out creators, then maybe that's a boon for everybody. Because this is kind of described as Twitch meets TikTok's creator fund. So I do like that they do seem to be approaching it slightly different. Because for me, just kind of like what you hear about, it's like YouTube is still like one of those channels that it's like it's actually helping creators grow. I mean, I've heard a lot of creators say that they now focus almost entirely on YouTube instead of TikTok because they get more payouts from YouTube. So this could be another thing that helps people, stick to YouTube and bring some of the TikTok people over because they want to grow their audience and want to do it in a mostly organic way, right? I mean, that's the thing too that I think about, like as a creator now. You kind of do want to have those organic audiences that are like following you and hyping you up, right? Because it's like that's how you grow your actual audience as opposed to growing a bunch of bots, you know? And honestly, I mean, if I'm a user and I have a creator asking me to like go hype them up like inorganically or like trying to like pressure me into it or, make me feel bad in order to do it, like that doesn't make me think kindly on the creator. So maybe that's just like a thing that has to, is it like a moral thing? Is it an ethical thing? Like maybe if we, can rely on like the morality and ethics of the actual users, um, that can like kind of counterbalance the wanting to buy all the bots to like, fake your hype. But
Yeah.
maybe I'm thinking too kindly.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's why, like, we'll see. I think especially before they come out with any sort of pay-to-play option, it might be an interesting way to track trends because it'll be a new mechanism for it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, just even like thinking about as growing our YouTube channel, what are ways to do that right? It's like we obviously don't have a problem asking y'all to give us reviews on Apple Podcasts or like Spotify. So would this be the next thing that we just ask you to hype us on YouTube when you're
Probably.
on there, like that? Maybe that becomes like the next thing that like creators start doing, to kind of get y'all to help us grow, right?
Yeah,
And
most
that doesn't
definitely.
necessarily right, and that doesn't necessarily
Mhm.
have to be like an icky thing. I think part of it is like that's kind of what I'm going up against here is like how icky this kind of feels. But I mean, the whole point is like if I'm thinking about a creator that I like, then yeah, I want to hype them up and I want them to like grow and like get more money from like, these big corporations that are using their content to grow their own platforms, right? So
Yeah.
I think if we're able to think about it that way and put ourselves both in like the eyes of yes a creator who wants to like grow but then also as a user who wants the creators that I love to grow and like find new audiences, then thinking about it in that way, I think this is a great program because it's new and it ultimately would reward creators that are creating content that people want to share.
Think so, yeah. Something that I think is interesting about this is that depending on how you look at it, it could be chaotic good,
Mhm.
chaotic evil,
Yeah.
could be neutral
Mhm.
because it's not the same thing as liking something
Right.
because you could theoretically you
Mhm.
could hype a video and not like it. Like you could think, "What an insane thing that this person produced.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hype it because this is crazy and I'm gonna
Mhm.
show it to people." But it doesn't mean that you like it. It means
Mhm.
maybe you think people should see it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, kind of the way that like Twitter is, right? With the whole idea that like my reposts doesn't necessarily mean I agree with it, right? It's just it has to get out there. More people should see this. And I do think that it's smart of YouTube to try to create a new way to engage with something. Because yeah, liking and not liking, it's not, what does that do ultimately?
Mhm.
One thing I do like about this is like maybe this is going to shift how virality happens. Like right now, a lot of us, like, we're just kind of relying on YouTube and the algorithm to like do stuff. And that just seems all like, ooh, the algorithm's doing what it's going to do.
Mhm.
But if this is a new way for people to hype up a video, like if there are enough people hyping it, that pushes it outward and that gets more like audiences. Maybe that changes the way that the algorithm works, which, gives a lot of opportunities to marketers who do have like YouTube strategies to start thinking about the ways that they want to engage with people in that way.
Mhm. Yeah.
But yeah, until we get 500 followers, we can't really use it. So,
Yeah.
we'll be keeping an eye on it. But yeah, this is another excuse for y'all to go follow us on YouTube so we can grow our audience.